with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
And greetings, poppers. You've come in between where it's just me and one other person. And this is because well, it's not really the start, but this is where you are all, the listeners, are going to join in on the story that's already in progress. It is called Cybercity. It's a very special cyberpunk red game. And yes, it is me, Brian, your favorite bringer of chaos, that lovable squid cephalopod lover. And you know me, my games are always a little different, because yes, like a tentacle, I always have mini curves. And this is the start of my first curve for this game, my first curveball, you could say. Because I'm pushing you all right into the action. You're not really going to know what's happening, but you'll get a kick in it. You'll piece it all together as we go along. Because as the players have little mysteries to solve themselves, you all will have a chance to solve it yourselves. So, we open on Cybercity. As many of you listeners have known, you know that Cybercity, in Cyberpunk, their original city is called Night City. That is no more. It has been destroyed. This is the new city. But we're actually leaving it. There's a massive convoy. We home in on this train, this massive train, just black. It's one of the only vehicles that can transport across the desert of the swallowing sands. That's why no one leaves Cybercity, because it's as if the sands are alive and they're oh so hungry. They swallow usually the poor citizen that is unknowing of the ways to travel. Now, this massive convoy houses a secret, because right now, out in Cybercity, all the citizens believe that Damian Leonidas is out there giving some campaign speeches, waving the citizens, kissing babies. In truth, the real Damian Leonidas is inside this train. Well, what's left of him. You see, Damian Leonidas, he didn't get out of that massive battle he had with his prodigal children. Oh, it was a heavy cost. It wasn't just his arm and his leg he lost. Oh, he can barely survive outside of what he considers his throne. He has to stay in this chair. Normally, he would just watch from his high-rise, planning every last next step. But he's finally come to an answer of why his children rebelled against him the way. He knows the answer, and he just wants to confirm. We go inside, we see, as the convoy is approaching, a massive pyramid. Damien leans up from his chair with his one good arm, pulls off his respirator mask.
Angie, I'm so fucking pissed. But
he coughs up a little blood. There's not much time. He's not here for a fight, but he's here to gloat. He thinks the old bat thinks she's a one. But it's time for him to finally reveal his queen's gambit. The convoy parks.
Whew.
100 nomad troops are waiting, taking an offensive striking pose as Leonidas' convoy parks. It opens up. They just hear the command, "Let him in, but don't take his coat." The 100 troops spread apart. Leonidas, his chair just hovering as he goes through them, memorizing every face, thinking to himself, "I will personally be coming back and killing each one of you." He makes it inside the pyramid. Stench of the old world, it makes him sick. The old traditions. This is why I burned all this to the ground. I didn't want any of this to survive. Ugh, yuck. Disgusting. And there he is. Damien in the grand meeting hall. He's in. It looks like an arena with 10 seats that overlook it, where the council members sit. There are no other members there. It is just the nomad leader. She stands about 4'5". Small, little, happy, wrinkled grandmother look, very white hair, both arms in a fist, with fist ending in fist behind her back. This is where we come into the scene. Damien just looks up.
Hello, Angie. You think you've won, don't you? I can see that smug smile on your face. Why'd you do it?
Leonidas, good to see you again. But I'm surprised you can see anything with that squint in your eyes.
Yes. I send my child to you to learn some simple combat, learn to strengthen their body, and you send them back to rebel against me.
Oh, non, mon frère. I did not send him to rebel against you. I did exactly as was asked of me. I am many things, but I am no liar.
Well, I know you. I remember back in the old days, Angie. Back when my sister was the fixer and I was the little brother that ran errands for your little edge runner group.
I remember those days. Whatever happened to that sweet young little boy? Because the man I see before me is not who I thought he would grow up to be.
Oh, I'm so much more than what you think, Angie. I love it.
And that's the problem, I think,
You know, in your mind, you probably thought I was here to cause a scene, to fight, to want to know why you taught Cain that. But here's the thing, Angie.
Damien Leonidas closes his eyes, relaxes his face, and then the evilest, vilest, disgusting smile takes his face as he looks up at her and goes,
Sometimes, when you want to get the things you want, You just gotta play the way everyone thinks you're going to, Angie. Thank you. You all thought I wanted a weapon. I just needed to get my next vessel ready, Angie. The arachnid. She played her part so beautiful, so perfectly. Everything was so well. Her little student, her little Pandora's box. Yes, Kenji Huang. He used to reside in me. There used to be the boy you remember, Angie. But through all that torture, I became something new.
I know what you became. A tyrant. A monster. You rule that city with an iron fist. And you think you're 3 steps ahead of everyone, but you're not the only one who can plan things, Leonidas.
Leonidas closes an eye as he looks up at the elder nomad.
So, our dance begins again, Angie. Like I said, I've come for mere things, not just to...
A bullet.
No. I know.
A bullet whizzes right by Leonidas, cutting his cheek. Angie, that's when you hear a gun twirling. Then a chink, chink, chink. These spurs. There's only one man who dared to wear spurs. But you know him to have died. That's why you mourned him for so long. Chink, chink, chink. You see his black chaps at first, holding his twirling gun, the twirling 100 cal pistol in his black cyberware arm, holstering it. Clink, clink, clink.
Well. It seems more ghosts of the past have risen from the grave.
Ah.
I
There
mourned
she
you,
is.
Black Hand.
Angie. I know you have many questions, and I have a lot to answer for. And trust me, I have my questions too, because I've already heard about what's... But I can't blame you. You thought I was gone. But I'm here because of... Clink. He finally steps in front of Damien. Why, hello there, Leonidas.
Morgan. Black Hand.
Leonidas. Angie snaps.
Leonidas...
Remember the rules of hospitality. You are here as a guest. You yourself has said you do not wish to start anything. Remember your words.
And I'm going to need you to move that left hand away from that button you've been secretly hovering, Leonidas. Don't take me for a fool. I already know that little husk you have there doesn't even house your true consciousness even anymore, Leonidas. His eyes immediately just burst, red veins just going in on the pupil as they dilate into tiny bulbs.
How did you fucking know that, Morgan Blackhand?
I know your plan, boy. Like you told Angie here. You said it yourself. You're planning to take that poor child and overwrite their consciousness and make you the new body. But I feared that even if we destroyed you, you might come back because of that, what'd you call it? Huang Xing? Something like that about the rebirthing technique. There is no more Qin Shi Huang anymore, Angie. Morgan Blackhand looks up at Angie. We've all been hornswoggled by this motherfucker.
I know. He said earlier that our dance began again, but I knew it never truly ended. And so I've been making appropriate plans. Dance steps that he cannot see and won't until it is too late.
That's why your grandson and that other one are in Cybercity. That's why those little fucking voodoo boys are moving around.
If things are moving, then maybe it is me, maybe it is not. You can't tell, and I'm certainly not telling, because I want to see you squirm, Leonidas. I want you to get everything you deserve and more.
Angie, roll me a d20, please. That's just enough. Leonidas he cannot be as sneaky as one previously in the past as he would think. You see as he's looking at you. He gazes down at his hand. His eyes try to peek at it, but you clearly just see him looking at this item. You get the stupid smirk on his cheek. And he tries to cover it in his lap, but he can't hide this from you.
Come now, naughty boy. What are you hiding from grandmother?
Morgan pulls out his gun quickly, twirls it. I'm gonna need you, son, to answer her now and show us what you got there. Now, granted, you may not reside in that domicile truly, but you can still feel pain, and remember, I'm one of the best there is when it comes to dishing it out now, son.
Now. You two are a guest, Morgan. Remember the rules of hospitality.
He quickly holsters his gun, holds up his hands, and goes, "Now, my dear Angie, you know you are the only young lady that can make me bow to her whim and make me holster my weapon."
As well it should be. Now, she nods to Leonidas. What were you trying to hide, boy?
Just have you of laid your places. Just have you think you're ahead of me. I was just checking my trump card. There's no point. I know you nomads can't do anything. I paid the price for getting too close to God here in this weak frame.
No, Leonidas. You have not yet begun to pay. And you will. You will. Again,
Okay.
you think you're 3 steps ahead of me. You might be. But I have no idea what else is going on in your city. My plans are mine. Whatever else is happening, I have no hand in.
Thinking, Morgan grows concerned. Not because of how Damien reacts, but because of how he should be reacting. He thought he would be angered, showing signs of a tantrum, but no. The fucking tyrant smiles.
Good. This is very good. Then, finally,
He raises his good arm and hand to you. In submission.
if you, Angie, I've always loved you. You were part of that family, but you were the one that showed me such kindness. I will never stop loving my cousin. I love you so much. Even if you are with this filth. And believe it or not, this who I am. Those feelings are genuine because this is me now. Qin Wang, I defeated that entity so long ago. And I'm so happy to hear you say you don't care for the city. Walk
I
away.
didn't say I did not care for the city.
Angie,
I said I had plans. But not everything going on in the city are my plans.
Angie, walk away. If you walk away, give me Cain. The nomads, I don't care. Nothing. You can do whatever you want.
We both know that isn't true.
Angie,
The little boy you were, the young man you became. Such promise you had. Such light. I loved you too, Damien. But the man you have become, I am ashamed of.
let me show you. I truly mean my words now. I come with no hostility with them. I just needed to see. You've shown me. You may say you care for the city, but you really don't. You care for culture. You care for your grandson. And I promise Alistair's safety in my city. No harm will touch his head. I promise. Just will back away. I don't care for the nomads. Do whatever you want.
We both know that isn't true. I saw the look on your face when you stepped in. You hate it here. You hate us. Because we are not something you can control. You said you would leave us alone. But how long will that last until your thirst for power sends you into the sands again? Sends you after us?
You know what? To show you, you can trust me. Angie, in my home. Yes, Morgan, you're so fucking smart, yes. That's where the true me resides. And how more poetic is it that it's my heart? It's a mixture, it's the perfect mixture of technology and organics, Angie. And within that is my soul. And what it's going to be. And I'll even go so far as to show you. Granted, this isn't the original, but inside this chip, what it does is it overrides. Not with that piece of shit Qin Wang, but with me. Once my heart is put inside of Cain and this chip inserted in his drive, I will be back, Angie. But without the weakness of that fucking Qin Wang rotting my brain.
Only at the cost of your own flesh and blood.
What was he good for?
He was your son. He is your son. You turned him into a beast.
Morgan stomps down fiercely on the ground, just intense with rage. I adopted that fucking child. That's my fucking son, Leonidas. I'm sorry I never told you, Angie. That's my boy, and you don't even know the truth of your own goddamn child. How dare you, Leonidas? It's taking everything in me not to draw my gun and put a bullet in you. I know it would serve no purpose, but it'd make me feel better. You're no father. You make me sick. You've proven exactly what I thought. You just think that Kane and Carla as just another way to extend your own life.
The Nomads have a history of hating cybernetics because it dehumanizes a person. It has taken me a very long time to understand that sometimes it is not the cybernetics that erode the soul, but the soul is eroded within the person. The cybernetics are just an excuse.
So, you've made your choice.
As have you, long before you stepped into my household. We've both been playing nice, but we both know the truth.
I didn't want this. I genuinely didn't.
I wish I could believe that.
Morgan, you may have survived Adam Smasher. But your end will be coming. But not before Angie's. Because
yours too will come, Leonidas. I am prepared for mine. Are you?
let the games begin. And this is the last time I'll tell you. Ni hao, Angie. Ni hao.
Get out of my home, Leonidas.
The giant chair turns to leave. We don't follow Leonidas. We stay in the room because now it is finally time for Morgan to answer, to talk to Angie. His eyes are streaming with rage and tears. Hey you.
Morgan, I need a moment.
Angie, I know you need a moment, but we're running out of time.
I am not so unknowing of the events going on in that city that I do not know that, Morgan Blackhand. But after dealing with Leonidas, I need a moment to collect myself, lest I say something inappropriate or inflammatory to you.
Morgan squats down. Little boosters can be heard from his legs as he leaps up, grabbing his best girl. Gives her a little spin and does a little dip. And goes, Angie, this isn't going to do. And then, of course, respectfully, he puts her back, does a little dancer's release. Do you really think? It's like, look. You're not supposed to look like that. Your heart's supposed to keep you young, Angie. Why are you letting this happen to you yourself? Your cyber heart is failing.
I am old, Morgan. Not everyone can live forever. Not everyone should live forever.
But
you've seen the results of someone trying to live forever. I would very much like to know why you do not look old. I haven't seen you look like this in ages.
Well,
and she reaches up to gently caress his cheek, a thumb going under his eye along the bone there.
You'll actually feel some weird indentations in his face under the skin. You feel what feels like rapid movement. He takes Angie's hand, gently holds it, closes his eyes. Oh, Angie, that day when Adam blew me away, it did so much damage to me. My face, everything was gone. It's a miracle I even survived.
I would certainly say that.
If you remember my old partner, Mr. Starr,
I know him.
He happened to, by chance, be there with everything, because that was my final plan, to hide Kane away from Damien, and we were going to try something, because I needed to tell you what I had discovered about them. But then it happened. So, what we were planning to use for Kane, we had to use on me. Very experimental nanite machines. They're constantly repairing, projecting this image of my younger self. I used to be able to control it at will, and I was projecting a different image of an older hobo, of a young, just a wino. But this strange man put his hand on me, and my nanites have now just been out of my control, and they only show myself as this.
It sounds you've fallen into a very interesting group.
You're going to be so proud of Alistair. He's ready to take that mantle, to take his destiny that's ahead of him.
I truly hope so. I hated having to send him in not knowing everything, but it was for his safety. That way, Leonidas and his goons couldn't torture him for any details of my plans. What little I told him, his part to play in mine. But tell me, is my grandson making any plans of his own?
He is actually partnered with Mr. Starr, and they're going to be staging a fake candidate to basically ruin Leonidas's mayoral campaign. It's a brilliant plan. I am very excited to see where it goes.
If I know my grandson, that is just the first step. Because someone like Leonidas would not take losing his power well.
Oh, darling, I do believe you're right. And coming in, hastily following behind Mr. Starr in a magnificent 50-foot dragging cape with so many diamonds and sequins and rubies sewn onto it. He's wearing the ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz.
Oh, God.
But he's wearing a pink and light purple pinstripe suit. Darling, and next to him is a very distinguished-looking gentleman. Darling, it is I, Mrs. Starr. You know I can't stay away, my little hands. He blows her a kiss.
So
He blows her a kiss.
many visitors today.
Well,
Monsieur Star, a pleasure to see you again.
I am so sorry, honey. I didn't want to bother you. But, well, what Mr. Morgan there was telling you so about. Oh, I know how you do about sound, so that's why I'm being respectful. But this is the one who's going to ruin Leonidas's campaign. He said he needed to speak with you about the part of our plan we are arguing about. Go ahead, John. Tell her your plan. Hello, ma'am. My name is John. I am the most sophisticated android body and AI intelligence. Mr. Starr here has treated me like a true human being since the day I came into life. He does a gentle bow towards you. He is my best friend and my father. And I'm going to be so sorry to say goodbye to him here in the coming weeks. And I need your help, Miss Angie, to keep Alistair and them from interfering with what's going to happen, because I can see within them are great hearts. And they would want to prevent this, but this needs to happen for the destruction of Leonidas. I hate this plan, John. Father, please. Miss Leader of the Nomads, there is to be a great debate in the coming weeks. It is with there I plan to instigate Leonidas to kill and destroy me, proving what a monster he is and destroying any hopes of him taking over Cybercity as mayor. I need you to distract Alistair and his friends. Keep them occupied for when this happens.
You do a very dangerous and noble thing, John. Putting your life on the line for this. I can see why you would hate it, and I can understand why you would want my help. So I will warn you. Leonidas is a very composed, controlled individual. If you wish to have that happen, he will have to be on edge, on the brink of the slippery slope, as they say, for you to trigger him in such a public forum. So you, my grandson, and the others that have teamed up will have to make sure you harry him well before this happens, if you truly wish to go down this path.
Yes. It's, as Mr. Starr told me, this is a difficult plan, but I do believe in their group is a very talented netrunner. She is on the path to getting the data I need, because I believe I have found the weakness in Leonidas. In all of his mentionings of all of his pawns and all of his challenges, he never has once mentioned the mother of Cain and Carla. We are going to use that against him.
I can certainly see that being quite the big trick. I will help you all I can, John.
I thank you. And I know this is a heavy burden to ask you to shoulder. But you are the only one Mr. Starr trusts besides Bertha and Morgan. And I have tried discussing with Morgan and Bertha, and they both refused. I'm not going to help you commit suicide, son. Mr. Blackhand, this must happen to save Cybercity.
I hate to agree, but it is not suicide per se. It is a noble self-sacrifice, not just for the city, but perhaps for the entire world. If Leonidas's plans go as he wants them to, more than just that city will be in danger. You two know this as well as I.
Mr. Starr and Morgan both just, they do that thing when they know you're right, but they're still just, John looks up, gives you a gentle smile, and goes, "Thank you. This is why I knew it was wise to speak to you. Thank you."
Come, the three of you. I wish to have some tea. After dealing with Leonidas, I need a breather. And I wish to know more of your plans so I may help you assist.
Fantastic. This is lucky because I have brought, just for the occasion, my tea ceremony set. And he has a whole set for whisking the matcha and the traditional Japanese tea ceremony. We follow behind Angie and these three, and they go to discuss plan. We zoom out of this pyramid. Zoom out, we zoom out. We see the massive train enclave flowing out. As it is encroaching upon Cybercity, we hear all of the voices, all of the lives. This is the stakes of what we are encroaching upon in Cybercity. It's not the players' own lives that are at stake here. It is all these voices, all these personalities that are at stake here. And watching from a corner on a building is Kane. And he jumps down. And if this was a movie or a TV show, we would see the title, Cybercity. And with that, we close out on this first of many side chapter episodes. Thank you, Poppers, and get ready for when the next episode of Cybercity comes at you.